As a face transplant recipient, how could I not appreciate having this kind of exposure to justify me advocating for our disabled diaspora? When I know that there are individuals suffering through so many different ways.
When people talk about celebrities, the public usually only sees the stage lights, the fame, and those glowing faces that always look perfect in front of the camera. But few know that behind that perfection is a silent, tense, and unforgiving race for appearance. A game where just falling one beat behind could leave a star in the dust, forgotten, or even kicked out of the entertainment industry forever. In their world, the face isn't just looks. It's a survival tool, a ticket to stand in front of the camera, sign contracts, and get called by name. And that's exactly why many have had to dive into face-altering surgeries down to the roots. The stories I'm about to tell will open up the journey behind the face transplant decisions of 21 Black celebrities, revealing the gritty truths that this industry doesn't want you to know. 21. Patti LaBelle, face intervention to change her stage fate. Patti LaBelle is the legendary voice of American music, who once conquered millions of fans with her powerful, emotional vocals and explosive performance style. From her time in the group Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells to her brilliant solo phase, she's always been mentioned as an icon of resilience, personality, and rare endurance in the entertainment industry. But when the stage lights shifted colors, everything around Patti LaBelle started heading in a different direction. After her old band broke up, she entered a phase of carrying her career on her own shoulders. That was a time when the music industry coldly put her appearance on the scales. On big stages, in front of camera lenses, every detail on her face was scrutinized. Her wide nose, which was a very unique feature of Patti's, was seen as a disadvantage. Managers and people around her kept bringing up image issues, the pressure to change to fit the TV stages of that era. Around the 1970s to 1980s, when her solo career needed a big push, Patti LaBelle finally decided to step into the operating room in New York. The surgery lasted about 2 hours, focusing on reshaping the cartilage and narrowing the nostrils, without too deep an intervention or adding complex materials. Besides the appearance story, there's a factor few noticed. Her natural nose structure made it slightly hard for her to control her breathing, especially in long, high-note climaxes. For a singer who lives by her voice, that became a lingering worry. When she walked out of the operating room, Patti LaBelle's appearance changed just enough for fans to notice the difference. But it still kept her familiar vibe. The slimmer nose made her face more balanced under the lights, helping her confidently appear frequently on big stages and TV shows. Hits like Lady Marmalade rang out alongside the image of a Patti LaBelle full of energy, strength, and absolute stage control. But many years later, in a 2015 chat with Essence, Patti LaBelle candidly admitted her regret. She said her old nose was very characteristic, very natural, and carried a strong personal mark. And she really missed it after changing it. Even so, that decision was tied to a long period of success, helping Patti LaBelle stand firm amid pressure, trading part of her identity for an irreplaceable spot on the music stage. 20. Sammy Davis Jr. Changing his face after a fateful accident. Sammy Davis Jr. was one of America's most versatile entertainers, singing, dancing, and acting with rare charisma. He was an essential face in the Rat Pack, an icon of the Las Vegas stage, and a name tied to glamour, speed, and a performance life with no room for weakness. No one could have guessed that the night of November 19, 1954, would rip apart Sammy Davis Jr. "S glorious life." On Route 66 near San Bernardino, California, his Cadillac sped along in a tired state after a long show. The packed schedule wore down his stamina. Just one moment of losing control when facing another car backing out onto the road. The crash happened in a flash. His head slammed straight into the steering wheel horn. The impact was so hard it completely shattered his left eye, the intense pain pulling him out of consciousness. Sammy was rushed to Community Hospital in San Bernardino in critical condition. The operating room lit up immediately, Dr. Frederick Hull had no choice but to remove the ruined eye to save his life and preserve the face structure. The surgery happened urgently, tense every minute. After that, an artificial socket was installed in the eye socket to prepare for a prosthetic eye. The face once familiar to fans suddenly became strange overnight. In the early months, Sammy Davis Jr. appeared with an eye patch. That image shocked the entertainment world. People whispered about his career on the brink. The stage was harsh on appearance, and a star losing one eye was hard to accept back then. A few weeks later, he got a plastic prosthetic eye fitted, often mistakenly called a glass eye. Adapting wasn't easy at all. Vision changed. Body felt off balance. Every move on stage had to be relearned from scratch. But instead of vanishing, Sammy Davis Jr. chose to come back. He got used to the prosthetic eye, ditched the patch, and kept performing with the Rat Pack, delivering shows that stunned audiences. That accident didn't just change his face, but shook his whole faith in life. From that event, he converted to Judaism, seeing the Route 66 crash as a fateful milestone. In the years after, Sammy Davis Jr. often mentioned that accident as a cruel miracle, one that pushed him through fear, made him stand stronger, and kept him living with the stage, even if nothing was the same. 19. Tina Turner, the Queen of Rock, reconstructing her face after years of violence. Tina Turner is an irreplaceable icon of rock and soul music, the woman who stands on stage with explosive energy, a raspy, fiery voice, and endurance few can match. Her solo career was a spectacular comeback journey, turning the name Tina Turner into a model of resilience and freedom. But behind the dazzling lights was a body ravaged for years. From the 1960s until 1976, while in her abusive marriage to Ike Turner, Tina Turner's face repeatedly took the hits. Fists, sticks, and anything within reach became tools for venting anger. Her nose broke at least 2 or 3 times. The cartilage was badly damaged. Every time on stage was an endurance test. Blood could flow unexpectedly while singing, sinuses blocked, headaches clinging like a familiar part of life. For years, Tina Turner chose silence. She still performed, still did shows, still gritted her teeth to keep up appearances for fans. Only after divorcing in 1978 and starting her explosive solo phase did she dare face the long-accumulated injuries. In her autobiography, I, Tina, published in 1986, she first revealed the truth about the facial traumas. And in a 2005 chat with Oprah, that story was really brought up clearly. Around the late 1980s to early 1990s, Tina Turner stepped into the operating room in Los Angeles. This wasn't a regular beauty surgery, but reconstruction. The operation lasted about 3 hours. Doctors had to use cartilage grafts from her ear to rebuild the bridge and tip of her nose, which were heavily damaged after years of violence. The primary goal was to restore breathing function, ending the headaches and bleeding while singing. When recovery ended, Tina Turner's nose changed slightly in shape, but more importantly, her body was freed. The pains vanished, breathing stabilized. On the 1987 Break Every Rule tour, Tina Turner appeared with near-explosive power, singing full high notes without fear. She once admitted the surgery results were totally worth it, because it didn't just fix her face, but helped her stand strong, perfecting the powerful image of the Queen of Rock and Roll. 18. Robert Chelsea, trading his entire face to live again. Robert Chelsea is known as a living icon of modern medicine and human willpower. From an ordinary person, he stepped into the public light after a horrific event, becoming a global inspirational face representing hope, life, and strength beyond imaginable limits. It all started on August 25, 2013, when a seemingly peaceful church trip with his wife turned into disaster. On the 605 freeway in Santa Fe Springs, California, Robert Chelsea's car had to pull over because the engine overheated. Just seconds later, a drunk driver slammed in from behind at high speed. Massive impact. Car exploded. Flames engulfed everything. Robert Chelsea suffered third-degree burns on over 60% of his body. His face took the full heat, skin charred away, muscles and jaw bones badly damaged. He was rushed to UCI Medical Center in critical condition and fell into a coma for months. When he woke, his old life was completely gone. His face no longer had its familiar shape. Eating became a challenge. Speaking normally was a luxury. The drunk driving accident stole the most basic human functions. In the next 6 years, Robert Chelsea went through over 30 major and minor surgeries just to keep his body alive. Each time on the table was a gamble. The fixes couldn't return his face or normal daily abilities. Hope back then was just faint rays. The turning point came when he was selected for the face transplant program at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. On July 27, 2019, the 16-hour surgery began. 45 doctors led by Bowden Pomahak coordinated to transplant an entire face from a donor, including skin, muscles, nerves, and blood vessels. This was the first full-face transplant for an African American. After months of recovery, the new face gradually adapted. Robert Chelsea could eat again. Speech cleared up day by day. The face recovered almost normally, carrying a different life. Instead of hiding with insecurity about his looks, he chose to appear publicly, founding the Robert Chelsea Foundation to advocate for organ donation. From a disaster victim, he became a living icon, proving that sometimes accepting a full face change is what truly lets a person live again. 17. Michael Jackson, the pop icon who intervened in his face to redefine himself. Michael Jackson is the world's most profoundly influential pop star, creating unbreakable records from sales to dance to stage image. At the peak of fame, he didn't just change pop music, but made the public follow every shift on his face. In the mid-1980s, even with unimaginable success, Michael Jackson carried a lingering insecurity from childhood. After the 1987 Bad album, around age 29, he entered a phase of wanting total control over his appearance. His face had already gone through light nose fixes before, and the chin started becoming the piece that nagged at him. He didn't want to look like his father. He wanted stronger, more masculine lines, totally different from the old image he hated. The decision was made quietly. A chin dimple augmentation was done. The doctor placed a silicone implant through an incision under the chin or in the mouth, creating a clear artificial dimple. The intervention didn't last too long, but was enough to change the whole face feel. The small scar under the chin was later clearly confirmed in the 2009 autopsy report. Michael Jackson also admitted to this fix in his 1988 autobiography, Moonwalk. In the 1990s, he regularly visited Dr. Wallace Goodstein every 2 months on average to monitor his face and overall health. Appearances after that showed the pointed chin with a deep dimple as a new identifier, clearly different from his early career phase. The visual results were obvious. Michael Jackson's face became sharper, more balanced with the fixed nose, resembling movie idols like Kirk Douglas, whom he admired. But at the same time, this change opened a chain of ongoing shifts for years. The public started scrutinizing every detail. Every appearance became a talking point. Though the chin augmentation was seen as successful, it contributed to turning Michael Jackson into an icon of constant appearance changes, where the line between image control and self-obsession grew blurrier. 16. Lil Kim, face implants to hide the wounds. Lil Kim is the bold icon of American hip-hop, the woman who pushed boundaries in image, lyrics, and personality to levels no one dared follow. From storming hits to her rap queen status, she built fame with grit, confidence, and an unmistakable vibe. Few know that behind that defiant exterior was a long period of violence and trauma. Around 2003 to 2004, when her career had passed its first peak, Lil Kim fell into toxic relationships. The beatings left direct consequences on her face: broken nose, damaged cheeks, body marked clearly, spirit worn down day by day. At that time, Lil Kim wasn't just facing fame pressure, but deep insecurity. The face once familiar to the public suddenly became something she avoided mirrors for. The initial surgery decision wasn't for beauty. It was reconstruction. The broken nose needed fixing. Face structure needed stabilizing for normal life. And when the operating room door opened the first time, a chain of changes lasting years began. After nose repair lifts, Lil Kim continued with cheek and chin implants. Artificial materials were used to create sharper lines, high cheeks, pointed chin. These changes gradually formed a new look, tougher and colder, fitting the rap queen image she wanted to keep publicly. In a 2005 chat with Angie Martinez, Lil Kim admitted her nose was once broken from violence. Before and after photos analyzed by experts later showed the interventions didn't stop at once. Surgeries continued into the 2010s, each pushing her face further from the original. The result was a completely different Lil Kim, high cheeks, pointed chin, slim nose clearly defined. She appeared more confident on stage, controlling her image with a cold, strong exterior. But at the same time, the big change sparked fierce controversy. For Lil Kim, the new face wasn't just new looks. It was armor, a way to hide old wounds, and a clear mark of the price paid for fame and toxic relationships. 15. Toya Jackson. Face implants to escape the family shadow. Toya Jackson is a standout member of the Jackson family, a singer and TV personality familiar to the public for decades. Emerging from one of music's most powerful families, she worked to build her own solo career, finding her spot with personality and an image separate from the shared glory. In the late 1980s, when her solo path was still rocky, Toya Jackson started changing her appearance. That was a phase when she appeared frequently on TV, stages, and entertainment shows. The pressure to stand out became clear. In a family where every facial feature was compared, keeping the old face wasn't a safe choice anymore. Toya Jackson was clearly influenced by her siblings, especially Michael Jackson. The living and working environment made appearance fixes normal. Wanting a slimmer, more angular face was seen as the quickest way to build confidence, standing alone on stage, not relying on the family name. The first interventions focused on the chin and cheeks. Silicone implants were placed to create a pointier chin and clear high cheeks, shaping a sharper face for the camera. At the same time, multiple nose lifts were done to balance with the new lower jaw. Aesthetic experts, including Dr. Wigoda, later analyzed before and after images, confirming changes not just in soft tissue, but face bone structure. Moving into the 1990s, Toya Jackson's look changed strongly. The round face before gradually shifted to a sharp heart shape. High cheeks, pointed chin, slim nose made the overall more professional under lights. Appearances after that showed she controlled her image better, appearing regularly on TV and entertainment events. However, this change also brought downsides. The public started comparing Toya Jackson to Michael more than ever. The new face made the line between creating her own identity and being lumped together thin. Even so, that chain of interventions marked the phase where Toya fiercely broke from her old image, ready to trade looks to survive and claim her spot in a family where every name lives under scrutinizing lights. 14. Janet Jackson. Face implants from her teens to shift her destiny. Janet Jackson is one of modern pop's most enduring influential female artists, creating her own era with music, dance, and stage image. From a child actor, she broke from the Jackson family to become an icon of career and personal identity control. In the late 1970s, early 1980s, when she was about 16, Janet Jackson stood at a big crossroads. Her teens passed under set lights and tight family supervision. She was no longer a kid on screen, but not yet seen as a grown artist. Appearance became a sensitive issue. Her naturally wide nose was seen as a point, making her face less balanced on stage and camera, plus the ever-present Jackson family pressure. Every detail was compared, every appearance was judged. In that context, Janet Jackson chose nose surgery as a way to take back control. The intervention focused on reshaping cartilage, narrowing the bridge and nostrils. No over-the-top changes, but enough to make the face clearly different. The decision happened quietly, even sneakily, fitting the position of a young girl not yet having a real voice in the family. Only after the surgery did the family find out. Later, Janet Jackson admitted in many interviews that the nose fix came from long insecurity, not just following trends. It was an effort to stand firm, stepping out from her family's huge shadow. Entering adulthood, the new look helped Janet Jackson more confident on stage. The face became balanced, expressions clear, fitting strong dance moves and high-intensity performances. This change helped lay the foundation for her career turning point. By 1986, the Control album came out and opened a totally different era. Janet Jackson appeared as an independent artist, owning her image and music. The slim nose wasn't just an appearance change, but a marker of growing up. From a decision at 16, she entered the long road ahead, where every appearance carried confidence, control, and the grit of a true star. 13. Sandra Pepa Denton, female rapper, with face implants just to change her image on comeback. Sandra Pepa Denton is one of the rare female faces laying the foundation for American rap. As a core member of Salt-N-Pepa, an icon of boldness and confidence, she once stirred charts, broke stereotypes about women in hip-hop, and left an indelible mark on stage and TV. By 2007, her life turned a new chapter. Salt-N-Pepa was prepping to return to the lights with the VH1 reality show, The Salt-N-Pepa Show. Cameras lit up. Image pressure piled on. Pepa appeared in front of lenses with clear thoughts on refreshing herself, not just in music, but her face too. Back then, the nose lift decision came as a strategic move, both to change looks and build more confidence in her public comeback. The surgery focused on narrowing the nose tip, rebuilding a higher, slimmer bridge. These changes quickly showed on screen, hard to miss. Before was a natural, strong nose tied to her street rapper image. After intervention, the face became more balanced, sharper, fitting studio lights and close-up shots. Pepa didn't dodge the truth, admitting it publicly, letting it play out transparently despite gossip. Many scrutinized every frame, comparing every detail before and after. Some said the new face made her look more modern, more confident with constant TV appearances. Others guessed it was the price of an artist returning, where image is weighed harsher than ever. Either way, the effect was clear. Pepa stepped on stage with a new, refined, brighter look for the camera. Salt-N-Pepa made a strong mark in the comeback, drawing attention from old fans and new audiences. The changed face, but Pepa's energy and personality stayed, creating an image both familiar and fresh, enough to keep viewers hooked. 12. NeNe Leakes, reality TV star who once had face implants under spotlight pressure. NeNe Leakes is a standout face in American reality TV, rising strongly thanks to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her sharp personality, straight talk, and dominating presence quickly made her the center of every frame, opening doors to acting, business, and an irreplaceable TV status. But as the glory exploded, pressure hit hard. Around 2010, while in Season 3 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, NeNe started feeling the lights not just highlighting talent, but magnifying every facial detail. Whispers swirled more about her natural nose with wide nostrils and low bridge. Under close-up shots, every line stretched, hard to hide. The nose lift decision came amid her career climbing fast with no room for flaws. She went to a famous aesthetic doctor in Atlanta, entering a surgery lasting about 3 hours. The nostrils were narrowed, bridge raised for sharper lines on camera. After the op, the look changed noticeably, but the feeling of incompleteness lingered. Studio lights kept scrutinizing angles, and outside comments didn't stop. By 2016, NeNe returned to the table a second time. This time, the goal was to refine rough spots, lengthening and slimming the nose for face balance. The process wasn't hidden. She openly shared the experience on the show and social media as a straightforward way to face the appearance pressure celebrities bear. The final result was a slim nose, sharper face, and clearly more confident vibe. In later seasons, NeNe appeared strong, controlling frames better, holding her reality TV drama queen title. But behind that exterior was a bold chain of decisions, reflecting the price paid when fame ties tightly to every facial line. 11. Toni Braxton, the ballad diva who intervened in her face at the height of glory. Toni Braxton is the renowned ballad voice, owning a rare, deep, raspy tone, constantly topping charts, winning major awards, and becoming a music icon for decades. In the mid-1990s, as her debut album exploded and her name covered big and small stages, Toni entered a hidden struggle few knew. The bright lights hid a silent obsession clinging to her. Her natural nose structure made breathing hard, especially holding long, high notes. Breath shortages hit right in her career's strongest rise. After 1993 and before the 1996 Secrets album, Toni decided to fix that weakness. The surgery happened in Los Angeles, focusing on nose cartilage reshaping, narrowing the bridge and nostrils with light cartilage grafts to keep it natural. The process was quiet, no fanfare, no show, but pivotal. After surgery, breathing stabilized, voice held firm in high-intensity performances. The face became slimmer, elegant, fitting the ballad diva image fans knew. Later shares on Braxton Family Values revealed this wasn't just looks change, but a decision to protect her career. From there, Toni appeared with calmer, classier poise, standing strong in the harsh industry, boldly passing a decisive artist life turn. 10. Tyra Banks, supermodel, who intervened in her face to reach glory's peak. Tyra Banks is the explosive face of the international fashion world, emerging from Paris runways to become a top supermodel, TV icon, and powerful leader of America's next top model. In the early 1990s, when Tyra was very young and just stepping into the harsh European market, pressure hit fast and heavy. Paris runways allowed no flaws. Face angles had to be sharp, lines had to be crisp, lights shone straight on every detail. In that phase, Tyra also faced long breathing issues from a congenital deviated septum, while realizing her face wasn't fully balanced for close-ups. Around the early 1990s, she decided on surgery in the U.S. The intervention focused on fixing nose bones and cartilage, narrowing the tip to keep it natural but clearer. This wasn't impulsive, but carefully weighed amid her make-or-break career threshold. Tyra later admitted it publicly in her 1998 book, Tyra's Beauty Inside and Out, turning a usually hidden personal story into rare, straightforward sharing in fashion. The surgery results came quick and clear. Breathing stabilized. Face more balanced on camera. Confidence grew daily. From there, Tyra not only dominated catwalks, but expanded to TV, becoming a powerhouse icon for a generation of aspiring models. 9. Tamar Braxton, TV star, fixing her congenital cartilage-lacking nose. Tamar Braxton is known as the Braxton family's feisty voice, a standout on reality TV, constantly making her mark with solo music and undeniable camera pull. Around 2012 to 2013, as Braxton Family Values cameras followed every family life moment, Tamar entered her tensest image phase. Fame came fast, but pressure piled on. Looks were compared, teased even in her own family, plus prepping a solo album added to the frustration. Her congenital cartilage-lacking nose not only caused daily discomfort, but made her face look soft, less sharp under studio lights. The surgery decision came as an unavoidable turn. Tamar chose a Los Angeles doctor, reconstructing nose cartilage, grafting materials to rebuild the bridge and narrow the tip. The surgery was shared publicly, from recovery to clear changes on TV and social media. As the face sharpened, confidence exploded. The new image helped Tamar control stages better, appear more frequently, pushing both music and reality TV. That change wasn't just cosmetic, but an image pivot, pulling Tamar from her family shadow to stand on her own name. 8. Blac Chyna angular face implanted to conquer social media. Blac Chyna rose from noisy entertainment life, quickly becoming a familiar face on social media, reality TV, and shifting to model entrepreneur with big influence. From around 2014 to 2016, as her name covered Instagram and entertainment media, Blac Chyna entered a heavy image transformation phase. From dancer, she turned into an online sexy icon, where the face had to be sharp, angular to not sink in the image sea. The jawline and cheek intervention decision came amid constant display pressure, where every frame was scrutinized. Multiple filler injections, temporary cheek and lower jaw implants happened at Los Angeles clinics, with neck lipo to highlight the jaw. This process was public on Rowland Chyna, turning her changes into part of the on-camera life story. The face gradually shifted to sharp V-line, clear jawline, creating strong visual effects, boosting followers and recognition exploding. However, after 2022, Blac Chyna started removing some interventions, choosing a more balanced return as she realized growing dependence. This reversal shows the implant phase was a fame-launched tool before she decided to control her image more naturally. 7. Cardi B face needing implants right after giving birth. Cardi B is the global rap phenomenon, famous for fiery style, smash hits, and social media influence strong enough to stir every entertainment platform. Around 2021, right after birthing her second child, Cardi B entered a phase of motherhood while racing a packed music schedule. Body changed fast, face no exception. Her once familiar nose suddenly swelled, bridge looked lower, tip spread clearly, obvious in selfies and behind-scenes videos. Pressure to appear on camera grew, especially prepping new releases and stage returns. The intervention decision came in that context. Cardi B chose a top Miami aesthetic doctor, doing surgery to narrow the tip, reshape the bridge, and light cartilage fix to keep it natural. The 3-hour surgery came with recovery shared publicly on Instagram Live and interviews. As the nose stabilized, the face sharpened, confidence returned clearly. The new image helped Cardi B control frames better, appearing strong again with next hits, solidifying her female rapper status, unafraid to change to own her image. 6. Kelly Rowland, changing her face to step out of Destiny's Child shadow. Kelly Rowland is Destiny's Child's core voice, a solo artist marking with successful albums, frequently on big stages and TV with increasingly sharp image. After Destiny's Child disbanded, 2008 to 2010 became Kelly Rowland's heaviest time. Standing alone on stage, she was constantly compared on looks, especially as lights and lenses magnified every line. Wide bridge, short chin made her face show imbalance in music videos and shows. That silent pressure pushed her to the table in Los Angeles. The surgery happened quietly, narrowing nostrils, raising the bridge while placing a small silicone implant under the chin to lengthen lines. Everything calculated precisely, just enough change without overstepping. After, the new face gradually showed publicly. Sharper profiles, longer chin, overall more balanced on stage. Later, Kelly Rowland admitted this fix helped her stand with solo career, confidently releasing Miss Kelly album and building her own image separate from the old shadow. 5. Oprah Winfrey silent face implant journey behind TV power. Oprah Winfrey is the American TV icon, building a national talk show empire, deeply influencing media, pop culture, and standing as a top powerhouse for decades. In the late 1980s, as her show exploded nationwide, appearance pressure tightened every frame. From local news anchor, she stepped to national TV star, where every face angle was scrutinized. Her congenital wide nose gradually became a point, making her face less sharp under studio lights. Instead of big changes, Oprah chose the quiet path. From late 1980s into early 2000s, she had multiple small interventions, reshaping cartilage to narrow the bridge and nostrils, spread out in Chicago and Los Angeles. Each fix very light, enough to avoid sudden notice. Through images from 1980s to 2000s, the change shows clearly but hard to name. The face became more refined, sharper, bolstering the powerful, steady woman's image, strong enough to lead a massive media empire. 4. Halle Berry, quietly implanting her face right before Hollywood peak. Halle Berry emerged from model runways, conquering Hollywood with gritty acting, constantly holding A-list star status, and making history with a prestigious Oscar. But from early 1990s to early 2000s, as Halle Berry's name started covering big screens, a change quietly happened right on that familiar face. Timing her shift from light roles to heavy drama, close-ups increased, image pressure clung to every frame. Her natural, slightly spread nose became a point, making her face not sharp enough in film set lights. In Beverly Hills, interventions to narrow the tip, fix the bridge, happened step by step, subtle enough to not disrupt public image. Compared to 1992's Boomerang Halle Berry, the later face looks mature, neat, and stronger. That change opened heavy roles, leading to the 2002 Oscar win. From there, the powerful, sharp, gritty woman's image tied to Halle Berry, as if every piece fell into place after the face change decision. 3. Vanessa Williams, implanting her face right after winning Miss America. Vanessa Williams stepped into lights with the Miss America title, then quickly marked in music and TV, becoming a rare face keeping heat for decades. But right after 1984, with the crown still hot on her head, storms hit. From around 1985 to 1990, Vanessa quietly entered New York operating rooms. Heavy pressure after the nude photo scandal forced her to redefine her image to stay in entertainment. Her once natural nose, now narrowed nostrils, created higher, sharper bridge, subtle enough to stand strong before cameras and stage lights. Changes happened quietly, step by step, avoiding too much notice. But people could still see after her debut album that face gradually differed, more mature and proactive. Confidence returned, pulling serious voice investment and thicker TV roles. By the time Save the Best for Last rang across charts, Vanessa's new image became a solid shield, helping her pass prejudices and hold her star spot tight. 2. Queen Latifah face implant bringing the hip-hop icon into film. Queen Latifah is the rare female hip-hop icon breaking from music, conquering big screens, marking with strong roles, and peaking with a prestigious Oscar nomination. But a truth few know, around 1990s to early 2000s, as she left rap to dive into film with projects like Set It Off, her transition wasn't smooth. Film set lights exposed every facial line. Her natural, fairly wide nose made frames lack sharpness, especially close faces. Lead roll pressure grew. A quiet decision was made. Nose cartilage fixes happened in Los Angeles. Tip narrowed. Bridge reshaped for more balance, not too different, but enough to change overall feel. The change shows clearly comparing early rap album photos to later roles. Face became neater, stronger gaze, stable vibe before big lenses. Her career shifted directions from there. Heavy roles piled up. By 2003, the Chicago Oscar nod became an affirming milestone. From street rapper to film star, that journey tied to a low-key but decisive fix. 1. Beyonce Knowles. Silent face implants becoming the springboard on her world domination path. Beyonce Knowles is the global music icon, growing from Destiny's Child, then breaking solo, dominating charts, stages, and pop culture with rare influence. From late 1990s to early 2000s, as Destiny's Child peaked and solo plans formed, Beyonce's look gradually changed in a way hard to spot without close look. From 1998 to 2005, stage lights grew harsher, cameras closer, appearance pressure followed every step. Her natural, fairly wide nose started becoming a point, making her face not fully sharp in close-ups. Light cartilage fixes happened scattered in Houston or Los Angeles. Nostrils narrowed gradually. Tip refined for softer but clearer face. No sudden changes, just silent steps, quiet, but enough for big difference. Through each MV, each show, people noticed her lines getting neater. By solo album, Dangerously and Love Release, the new image was complete. Balanced face, sharp close shots, star aura exploding. Maybe just a tiny part in the success machine, but that change contributed to the perfect, cool, powerful icon image dominating world music. And here, the picture of 21 black celebrities who once had face implants comes to a close. Behind the dazzling lights, the applause and admiration is a journey full of pressure with tough choices and irreversible changes. Each fixed face isn't just cosmetic, but reflects the weight of expectations, the entertainment industry, and the very human insecurities inside those stars. What do you think about their changes? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos, where we keep peeling back the hidden corners few dare speak in the celebrity world.